Hello, everybody. Welcome to this community call about the MIP upgrade. The MIP upgrade is a proposal for upgrading the Mina Improvement Proposal process. The Mina Improvement Proposal process, for those who are new to this concept, is in my opinion, is our main mechanism for the Mina community to make collective decisions about core protocol changes. And so far, it has proven itself as a process that is effective and aligned with the wishes of the community. So by upgrading this process, what we are aiming is to maintain these properties of effectiveness and alignment, but we want also to encourage greater community participation, right? That is the goal of this upgrade. Increasing community participation is, in my opinion, not only desirable, but it's also necessary for making Mina protocol more decentralized and robust overall. And let's see if the changes that we are proposing are going to be able to achieve this goal. No, that is basically the purpose of what we want to discuss with you. So let me follow. I hope you can see this slide. Yes. A little bit more insights on the changes that we are proposing. First, we are considering that this process could be used for other purposes, not only for core protocol changes, but we can also make decisions about Mina economics and Mina governance processes. So increasing the scope could be one way to facilitate or encourage greater participation. Along with that, we are proposing to create new roles that are also ways to open new opportunities for community members to participate in this process, right? So they not only can submit proposals themselves, debate on proposals and vote on proposals, they can also become facilitators, so they can assist MIP authors in following this process. And they can also become reviewers, so they can first give feedback to the MIP authors, help them refine their proposals, and provide them with their subject matter expertise in a relevant area. No? So, for example, if we have a MIP focused on Mina economics, having a pool of experts in this area would be very beneficial, not only for the MIP author, because he can use this feedback to refine the proposal, but also for the rest of the community, even those who are not experts in Mina economics, so that we can understand better the proposal, what are the risks, benefits, and trade-offs, and that we have all the information and before we go to a community vote. No? Additionally, we are also introducing or proposing the introduction of some mass deliberation tools and open debates to make deliberation more engaging and transparent for the community. And finally, we are proposing some basic implementation guidelines for future MIPs, given the increased scope of the MIP process, now with these new categories. And to define a little bit more the relationship between the MIP author and the implementation team, no? Those who are responsible for the implementation of the approved changes. So far, let me stop here and ask if there is any questions or any comments in general about this proposal. I'm here to respond of any questions and help you understand whatever aspect about this proposal. Yes, Mark. Sorry, you're on mute.
Yeah, sorry. Will there be any incentives for the community to become a MIP editor or a reviewer?
We are exploring that. That was not part of this upgrade, but this is more a first step into a direction. that I think is going in that way. No, we are exploring or considering options for the future. Incentives could be like reputation. There could be different ways of incentives. No, it could be monetary incentives. It could be a paid role, or it could compensate you for the time that you dedicate to it. But it can also be in a way of giving you reputation in the ecosystem and in the community. We are exploring this as a next step, a potential next step after we test these new roles. This upgrade is more centered or focused on creating these new roles and testing them. And then in the future, that could be part of a future MIP, sure.
Okay, thanks.
Yes, any other questions? Actually, before I forget, I've shared with you a couple of links. One of them is to the MIPS GitHub repository. And here you can see in the pull request, you can find the MIP upgrade submitted here. And since the submission, we have collected a lot of feedback. I am currently working on incorporating this feedback and addressing these comments. And you can actually see how I'm editing the document live. If I can share this link here. This is the one that you can find in Mina Research, by the way. I think I need to stop presenting, and then I can present this other tab. This is the one. Yes. So I have highlighted in yellow the sections or the parts that I am working on currently. For example, I'm refining a little bit the rationale section. As Nathan suggested, that we could focus on what is specifically that we are proposing in this upgrade and treat other potential next steps separately. So this is one thing that I've been working on. And also the distinction or the separation of the MIP author and the implementation team, how they work together, but at the same time, they remain autonomous. Okay. So yeah, just to give you an update, know what is going on recently. Yeah, Mario.
Yeah, hi. I just wanted to ask you about one point, which is randomizing the selection of reviewers. Okay,
Yep.
I don't remember if reviewers is the right word. You
Yeah,
have
it is.
yes. Okay. That's do you already have a decision about that? Because I think there has been some just discussions about that, whether it's good, it's bad, etc. In my opinion, it may be good if you have enough reviewers. So if you only have 3 reviewers, just using random doesn't have much sense. But I think it's an interesting point. That's one interesting point. So I wanted to know if you already have some decision taking around that.
Yeah, totally agree with you. And definitely this has been a discussion that we started since the ideation phase, no? Not only for reviewers, but also for facilitators.
Mm-hmm.
Random selection has advantages like reducing the risk of malicious actors, no, or having some kind of conflict of interest. So these are the advantages that we took into consideration. But as you say, no, we don't know if we are going to have enough reviewers and facilitators in the pool to start with. So we have decided to go for a more voluntary approach. at the moment. No? So first we introduce these roles, we make it very flexible, very open. And so currently how it works is once you submit a new proposal, a new MIP, a facilitator will be randomly selected, but that facilitator is only for giving you responsiveness, no? To assist you and be able to respond to your questions more quickly. But the decisions that this facilitator will take, the important decisions like do we approve or reject this submission, has to do it collectively with other facilitators and reviewers, right?
Okay.
So that's how we are approaching it right now. And then once the submission is approved, then all the reviewers in the relevant category will be requested to review the proposal. And it's voluntary, so they can do it or they can not do it if they don't have the time or the availability to do it in a given time. No? So this is why the role of the facilitator is critical, because the facilitator makes sure that the proposal has received enough reviews before proceeding to the next phase.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. I see another comment here. Does the upgrade define the specific risks and benefits that reviewers would assess? This would support transparency and accountability and coherence across reviews. Totally agree. At the moment, we don't have a clear definition of what is considered a risk or a benefit. We are having this approach of letting the reviewers express themselves in these terms. And I think with experience, once we have enough experience with this new process and these new roles, we can have a better definition of what this means. No? I totally agree that this will support more transparency and accountability, but I think we need more experience, or we need more information before we fully define what all this means. No? The most important thing I will say is to give information to the community, to the broader community, even those who are not experts in this area, no? So that they can vote with all the information, and they can review not only the proposal itself, but also the risk assessment provided by these experts. Yeah. Thank you all for your questions and comments. You can always raise your hand or leave a comment in the chat. I also had some questions. We have here some MIP editors who are currently working in facilitating this process. One of them is Philip, and the other one is Nathan. And I wanted to ask you first, correct me if I'm wrong when I'm explaining the process or anything. You are the ones who know it as well. I would like you to give us some more insights on what this process is, and what do you think it's the strengths of this process and what could be improved. If anyone wants to start.
The current question, I gotta digest it for a second.
Sorry.
Go ahead, Philip. You can answer first. I'm thinking about it.
Like the current process and how it works. Yeah. I mean, it's fairly lightweight, and the role of the editors is mainly to just make sure that the form of the MIP is acceptable, so that there's nothing like that. There are like formal requirements on what must be present in an MIP, and then the editor is basically checking the boxes that everything is there, and like make sure that there's nothing obviously, like there is no misunderstanding at the base of the MIP, and then just after checking those basic boxes, basically saying this is good to go, and then it can go to the next round of review and community engagement and ultimately voting.
Mhm. Thank you,
Yeah.
Philip. Yeah, for me, it's the same. I think it's sometimes we talk about it like it was very difficult or complex, but it's actually very simple. You have an idea, you share it with your community, gather feedback, then you start drafting your proposal using a template, and then you submit it for community review. No? Then the role of MIP editors, as you say, is to make sure that the quality is good and the proposals are clearly explained, and they follow the template and they're not missing any important parts. So it's ready for the community to review it together. No? Nathan, do you want to add something or let us know
Sure.
your vision?
Yeah, I mean, I don't have too much to add. I think the process as it is right now is pretty lightweight and simple. There is less formality around sort of the approval process from a technical perspective. Like the current review cycle is just focused on does this address immediate security concerns, but it's really not going into like the other technical trade-offs. Like, does this make sense? Is it the right, what are the performance trade-offs? Like, we're really not doing any of that at all. It's just like, is this a safe thing for the community to vote on, in our opinion? So it's pretty lightweight. I think, that kind of model seems to work pretty well in other ecosystems like Ethereum. Like, they have the EIP process, which also doesn't have a formal sort of sign off from the technical audience, but it's more of like an interactive discussion, and different people with technical backgrounds come in and weigh in. And I think that seems to work pretty well, So yeah, I think the process as it is right now is it's pretty good. There maybe is some more things we can do to support people in writing MIPs to help get things off the ground. But I think, that can be done informally, and the process overall is pretty good as it is right now. I think it works.
Yeah, I do agree that that's one of the strengths of this process, no? That is very open, and it's simple, no? Keeping it simple and open, allowing everybody to jump in and review the proposal, give feedback, add comments, ask questions. I think that's something that we should keep, no? And this upgrade is building on top of that foundation, no? To facilitate, or the aim is to facilitate and to open new avenues for community participation. Ben, you raised your hand?
Yeah, I'm sorry, Nathan, thanks for sharing that. I'm sorry to put you on the spot here, but I just wondered if I could ask a follow-up to what you said just at the very end, in terms of a comment along the lines of supporting people at the very outset of drafting MIPs. And I wondered do you have any intuitions or just initial thoughts about what that extra assistance to help get MIPs off the ground and assist authors might look like?
Yeah, so in my opinion, I don't think it needs to be a formal process, but I think that we, as sort of experts in the community, having a more open dialogue with people who are interested in things, creating a space in Discord, people to come and be able to ask technical questions. I think that's probably the right steps to take. We in the history of the MIPS so far, we haven't had a whole lot of MIPS, but we did have one MIP that sort of floated for a long time. And I don't think that's just because, like, that's an example of sort of one of the MIPS that, like, I guess let me take a step back. So there's sort of two different problems. There's two sides of the MIP process. There's like supporting people and making sure they can succeed and get what they need. But then there's also sort of like the community ownership aspect, that people need to come in and own things and do the work to like figure out, how to satisfy sort of the requirements of a MIP. And so the one case we've had right now of a failure where a MIP is sort of stalled for a long time, I think there is more support that could have been given if we had these kind of informal channels where the person who had submitted the MIP can go and kind of ask advice, not coming to them saying, hey, can you do the work for me? but coming to them and saying, like, what does it look like to build this framework? And so creating those spaces in an informal way, I think, is just a good thing for the ecosystem as a whole outside of MIPS. So that would be my general thinking about like how we could support that. It's really just making places for like more technical engineering support in general.
I agree. I mean, given my personal experience, no, I think the biggest obstacle is time availability, no? Because it takes a lot of time to write a proposal like this. I think that's the main problem that everybody has encountered. No? I've been tracking new ideas and discussions that has been arising in Mina research and Discord and other forums, and more than 20 ideas have been presented and as potential future MIPS, no? But only 3 got to the point for an on-chain vote, and I still think that's a quite good ratio. And I think most of the cases is lack of time, no? And a second problem or concern, I would say, is as you say, no, need of support. If you need some expert input, and then you need these informal channels in Discord maybe to be facilitated or to be promoted, and then you need other people to also dedicate time to your proposal. So I say that's something that we definitely need to work on. Okay. Thank you so much. Any other comments, questions? I thought we could take a look at this slide I made because I wanted to ask you where do you think this MIP upgrade stands in the process, right? Because we have been doing the research phase in Mina research, asking for feedback and all that, no? Having community conversations. And now we got to the point that we were ready to start drafting the proposal and we submitted it, no? Does this mean that we have already started the review phase, or are we still in the drafting phase? I would like to ask you guys what you think about this.
It sounds like it's squarely in the review phase at this point.
Yeah. Okay. So, yeah, the proposal seems compliant with the process, no? MIP editors have given their feedback, their review. There are some changes that have been requested, and I'm working on them. So I hope that I can apply those changes in GitHub this week, so we can go on vacations, on holidays, and we can give it a thought, and then come back in January to start the review phase with the community and get us make sure that the proposal is ready for an on-chain vote. I know that the proposal is not ready for an on-chain vote today, and it won't be after the incorporation of the latest feedback. So we still need some time to further refine this proposal and to discuss it with the community. This week, I will also not only apply the changes in GitHub, I'm also going to add attached documents, right? More about how we are implementing or we are planning to implement these proposed changes. No? So a new template for new MIPS with the new categories and everything. A new README page for the MIPS repository, explaining the process in simple terms. And then more detailed frameworks for facilitators and reviewers. So if you are interested in playing these roles, you have there all the information, how to present yourself as a candidate, how to effectively fulfill this role, and all that. No? So That's all I'm working on currently. So I think I can move this to review phase. Is that correct? Perfect. Thank you. I see a question here. Is community discussion and large-scale deliberation used to surface needs, and then proposals are written to respond to those community-articulated needs? It's a good question. I will say first, you start with your idea, no? And you actually let's see it in a diagram. It will be easier. This one. And you can go here. This is the link I left in the chat. Here you can see a diagram that says that the process starts with an idea. Let me zoom in. Starts with an idea. You share this idea on Mina Research. It's the forum that we have dedicated for this, but you can actually use any other platform that, as long as you are collecting feedback and building consensus around your idea. No? So this is where I would say is the moment to identify needs from the community. People are proposing, or we could do this, or we could improve this part of the protocol, or we could change something about Mina economics or something like that. No? And then once the idea develops and forms, and you get alignment with the community, then you can be ready for starting the drafting, no? Using the template to draft the proposal and make it more formal or more structured, I would say. Then along the process, you can also discover other things that you didn't realize in the first place. No? So I think there's also other opportunities for identification of community needs. No? But still, I will say that this part of the process, this idea phase in research forum, I think that's the right time for that. I don't know if others have other opinion or other perspective. Yeah, let me.
Yeah, thanks. Just to add on top of what you said regarding Liz's question, we also enable community members to submit their ideas on GitHub. As Joaquin mentioned, there were around 20 of them submitted there, and also from time to time, community members are proposing ideas for MIPs on Discord. And then, depending on the community interest and also support from the team, we guide such people to author potential idea or start a thread on Mina Research to further discuss this with the community. And once more community members jump in and agree that this should be discussed in more detail, then we provide support to move this forward. So yeah, currently it's supported in that area, but MIP upgrade is about improving this a little bit and also providing better support for anyone from the community to discuss, propose, discuss, and submit their ideas within the MIP process.
Yeah, this.
Thanks for that. Yeah, that helps me get a clearer picture. I wanted to ask if anyone around here has experience with like the three-part sequence: problems, goals, ideas. Ideas are at the end, so this is an alternative idea to how this diagram's expressed right now. By starting early with the people articulating what isn't working well and getting on the same page with reality, actually building a shared reality out of all of our different perspectives, and then articulating the vision of what something would be like if it worked better as a goal or a vision. And then lastly, getting to ideas, then we can assess all of the ideas proposed and even better combine the ideas, because we understand that we've built a shared perception of reality together, and we've also articulated our visions together. I just wanted to lay that out as in other universes, that's a very standard process, and I'd love to know how you think about in relation to Mina's operations.
Yeah, thank you. That's actually something that we have discovered along this work. First, we had this idea that we wanted to improve or yeah, to improve the process basically, and then we had to start first. What is the problem that we want to solve? And once we are clear on what is the problem that we have identified, what is the goal, and then you can start working on the solution. So I think it's very, very interesting and very important to share that with other MIP authors. No? When they are working on their proposals, it's a good exercise to do this. No, to start with what is the problem that I'm trying to solve, what is the goal of this proposal, and then what are the solutions I can propose to achieve these goals. Thank you so much, Liz. Very well. Any other comments or questions? So I can share with you, let me share the links I shared with you. The first one is on Mina Research. From here, you can find everything. No? You can access the draft I'm working on, a summary of the changes that we are proposing, and the feedback that we have been collecting is here. So this is a nice starting point for everybody to get introduced. And then for those who are a little bit more experienced with the process, I will recommend to check out the MIPS repository in GitHub and familiarize yourselves with the process and everything. And as we have said, the plan here is that we have submitted this proposal. The MIP editors have given us a signal that is compliant with the process, so we can start the review phase. Once we are finished with the review phase, we can decide to go forward and organize a community vote that will be on-chain. We have a platform for this that we have used previously in the past, but it would be nice to refresh ourselves how to vote on proposals and how to use this tool. No? And then if this proposal is approved, then we can proceed with implementation of the changes. And I think it would be very good to start 2025 with this proposal, because there are other proposals in the making and in discussion right now. So it would be good to start the year with this with this upgrade, and have a community vote, have an on-chain vote, refresh ourselves how to participate and engage in this process, how to vote, and then we can more efficiently participate in the discussion for other proposals that I'm sure will be coming next year. So I think that is it I had for today. As always, I am available in Discord and other social media. You can ask me questions if you want to learn more about this proposal. I'm happy to explain all the details and everything. So don't hesitate to reach out. And thank you so much, everybody, for joining this call. I will post the recording in the Discord channel and other social media for others to watch it. And we will organize more community calls like this one. So thank you so much, everybody. Hope to see you soon. And have a nice holidays. Merry
Thanks.
Christmas. Happy New Year. Thank
Bye,
you.
everyone.
Thank you. This is great.
Thank you. Bye.